Hello everybody, this is your Digital Super Saiyan 3 back with another video. And finally we're getting to my video I plan to do, my top 10 WrestleMania matches. Since 1985, WrestleMania has been a staple in the culture of professional wrestling and in American culture as well. As well as international culture. So, let us get into my top 10 WrestleMania matches. So, number 10 on the list is Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24. I gotta say, from start to finish, this match was enjoyable. I loved how emotional it was, and I loved how if Flair lost, he would retire, and that ended up happening before, or shall I say, and after that, yes, we would have Flair's whole run in TNA, but I didn't watch Flair's run in TNA, but this was a great match, and probably the best retirement match that happened at a WrestleMania. Probably one of my favorites. It was definitely a great and emotional match. So check it out. Number 9, The Rock versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 18. Now, I love WrestleMania 18 as a whole. I plan to probably do it eventually in the future as a review, but this was an awesome match. Rock, Hogan, WrestleMania 18 in Toronto. It kicked ass. It was definitely a match for the ages. Two icons, as if time stood still, as JR said, and it was probably the best Hogan match at a WrestleMania. At number 8, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13, the submissions match. This is where Stone Cold Steve Austin turned face. This was the match that turned Austin face, and it is also one of Austin's best matches of all time, and there's just no contest. Hell, I think this is my favorite Bret Hart match at a WrestleMania, because Bret Hart has had many great WrestleMania matches, as well as a few stinkers, when you look at Bret as a singles competitor. Singles Bret, this was definitely Bret's best singles match at a WrestleMania, his last classic before he left for WCW, and then, yeah, he had that return match at WrestleMania 26 in 2010. It wasn't that great, but this was an absolute gem. I mean, Austin bleeding, getting busted open, passing out in Bret's sharpshooter. Bret, or shall I say, Ken Shamrock, who is the special guest referee, stops the match. Austin passed out in a pool of his own blood, and the sharpshooter refused to quit. It also was the match that made Bret the biggest bad guy in the company at the time, so it was a great match. Number 7, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10. Now we go all the way back to 1994 with this one, as Shawn Michaels takes on Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10 to determine who is the true Intercontinental Champion, who is the undisputed Intercontinental Champion. Both men had their own IC title belts. Both men battled in a ladder match. This was the first ladder match to ever be held at a WrestleMania, and this one was awesome. And it's the only ladder match on this list. It's definitely the only ladder match on this list, but I'm not complaining. This match was just great. I mean, from start to finish, in Madison Square Garden, you saw Razor and you saw Michaels beat the hell out of each other with the ladders. It was just awesome. I mean, there was a lot about this match that was enjoyable from start to finish. An excellent match. Number 6, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21. Now we go to 2005 in my childhood. Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 21 in Los Angeles. What's there to say? This match was destined to steal the show of WrestleMania 21. and it delivered. It delivered spectacularly as the two biggest workhorses on their respective shows. Shawn Michaels on Raw, Kurt Angle on SmackDown. It was just an amazing match from bell to bell, start to finish. It was a technical masterpiece of its own right. Number 5 is, now we go into the top 5 territory. And now, number 5 is The Undertaker versus Kane, WrestleMania 14. Yes, I did talk about this match in my WrestleMania 14 review, but it still makes it onto my list because of just how awesome it was. I mean, Paul Bearer at ringside, they've been building this up since last year, since October when Kane debuted at Bad Blood. It was just awesome from start to finish. This didn't need to be hold for hold, but it was just awesome. It was a very Smash Mouth kind of matchup, as JR said, bowling shoe ugly. Number 4, Batista versus Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton, WrestleMania 30. Now, I wanted to include one match from WrestleMania 30 on my list, and I included its main event. Daniel Bryan versus Batista versus Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This is the first of 3 world title matches on the list, and this was a great triple threat match. I mean, the crowd was behind Daniel Bryan, they were hating Batista. I love how the Authority kept trying to get involved in this match. They had their own crooked referee, Scott Armstrong, trying to make sure that Daniel didn't become the champion by any means. I love how Daniel knocked out Scott Armstrong. I love this match from start to finish. Like, you see the Batista Bomb RKO combo through the announce table, but Bryan still comes back and still wins the match by locking Batista in the Yes Lock, and Daniel Bryan wins the world title in New Orleans. Amazing and very emotional. Number 3 on the list is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. Now, I know most people actually put this match much higher, possibly put it at number 1. Mainly put it at number 1, and yes, I can admit, it's a very, 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 very great match. A great wrestling match from start to finish, as it was Shawn Michaels attempting to beat the streak for the first time. I mean, and we were convinced Michaels was going to be the guy to do it, but apparently that wasn't the case. I mean, Undertaker just kept coming and coming, showing us why he's the phenom of WrestleMania. Number 2, The Undertaker versus Batista, WrestleMania 23, for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was streak versus title. Undertaker defending his streak against Batista defending his World Heavyweight Championship. This was awesome. These were 2 of the biggest stars on SmackDown, going at it in a very Smash Mouth kind of style of a match. This was Undertaker and Batista, I think I was convinced this should have been the main event, but I understood why they went with John Cena and Shawn Michaels, but still, Undertaker, Batista, they went out there and had an absolute classic on their own right. And number 1 is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, WrestleMania 17. Now, no disqualification match for the WWF Championship, and my God, it was intense. It was bloody. There was a lot in this match. You had chair shots. You had Austin being locked in the sharpshooter, basically giving us flashbacks to WrestleMania 13 when Austin faced Bret Hart. And yes, you also had the uneasy alliance, the unlikely alliance of Vince McMahon teaming with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Vince McMahon handing Austin the steel chair, and basically this led to Austin's heel turn that he had for the majority of 2001. Still, I gotta admit, this match was awesome nonetheless, and I definitely loved this match from start to finish, and I would rewatch it. So yeah, those are my top 10 WrestleMania matches. If you have a favorite WrestleMania match, let me know in the comments section below. And also, if you want me to do a sequel match next year, I will do it. Anyway, this has been your Digital Super Saiyan 3, and I'll see you later for my Spring Stampede 97 review.